that's how we filmed everything. It was
Oh
just
my God,
fun.
that's like if you could be spiritually possessed into a doll, which one would you choose? Let us know down below.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Out of the Box podcast, episode 19. Oh, I can't wait. All right, so today we have a bunch of new dolls to talk about and some recaps. Of course, before we get into it, let's go over and see how everybody is doing. So, how are you doing today? We're gonna go with Chloe. How are you doing today, Chloe?
Hi guys, another episode 19. Wow. We're really aiming to
Look at
those
us.
20s. I'm doing good, you guys. I have been pretty good. It's been a pretty chill week. This weekend's gonna be very busy. I'm gonna be dog sitting and house sitting for a friend of mine this weekend.
Aw.
So it's gonna be a little mini staycation for me as well. He lives like on the other side of the city, so that's gonna be kind of fun. But yeah, it's been pretty good, pretty good.
We love that. We love a good week. How about you, Johnny? Are you having a good week?
I'm having an amazing week. I'm so excited to be filming yet again another episode. Like Chloe said, episode 20. Wow, could you imagine? I were gonna make it to 20, guys.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for the support on these like past videos. I love reading everyone's comment. Congratulations to everyone that got the Skelector. And if you didn't get it, that's just the universe telling you that there's another better one coming your way.
Which
So, yeah,
there is another Skelector already on the schedule. But before we get into Monster High stuff, we want to change it up and we want to do a recap of something that literally just came out yesterday. Well, 2 days whenever this video comes up. The LUV, the Love Dolls by Far Out Toys, did their official launch. And overall, I saw them all over social media. So I feel like they really did a good job with reaching out to a lot of different content creators, giving them the opportunity of the gifting package. And what are our thoughts now that they've been out officially for the first day? I mean, how do you guys feel about them?
yeah, so I saw them for the first time yesterday, the day before, and I like them more seeing them in person. The pictures really don't do them justice. I did watch your review. I also not a fan of like the very flat faces, but I think overall they look really pretty. I love the fashions. I love the blonde one. Whenever you took that she had like the black bodysuit, I'm like, oh my God, I need that piece.
Yeah.
These fashion packs are so good. I'm just excited because if this is what we get from the very beginning, let's just see what the brand evolves into.
I completely agree with that. Chloe, what were your first thoughts on the dolls?
Okay, my first thoughts were I wasn't sure. Now that I've kind of see them a little bit more, I've actually seen one of them in person. And I was watching everybody's content yesterday. I was on everybody's videos, Instagram, everything. I'm loving everything. I really enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes of some of the events and things that a lot of the creators got invited to. That was really, really, really cool. And I definitely see the fashion like focus in these dolls. I absolutely love that the brand went above and beyond to create the life-size versions of the
Hmm.
like doll version outfit. That was so cool to see. I saw Melissa's video and she got to attend it in Fashion Week. That was really, really cool. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was there. Could you imagine? But seeing them now, obsessed. I definitely want Brooke. She is probably my favorite. She's giving me this like telenovela, like villain energy, and
Yeah,
I'm here
yeah.
for it. For anybody listening, if you know the telenovela Teresa, she's giving her vibe. She's giving me like, she came from the poorest side of town and she was very ambitious to make it to the top. And I definitely need her to fulfill that fantasy. I agree with Johnny. The fashion packs are to die for. I definitely need London's fashion pack. I think that one's my favorite. It's so, so, so
It's so
cute.
cute. Like the jacket is so you. Like I actually have it here. Like it's lined. It's so
So
cute.
good.
It's definitely a
So
you
good.
jacket for sure. Like
Yes.
I'll be very transparent. Like when I first saw the images of them, I was kind of like more meh. But as soon as you take them out of the box and you feel them, and I mentioned this in my video, as soon as you take them out of the box, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get the fabrics were great. Again, I'm not a fan of the flatness of the eyes, which I also mentioned in my video. I prefer more of the indentation. I feel like it gives a little bit more depth. But overall, though, I think they're very soft hair. I love like being able to just change their clothes and they all kind of flow together, even though they have slightly different body types. I think that's a really good job. And I think, again, the marketing team for Far Out Toys did a great job. They did a virtual influencer event, they did an in-person influencer event, and they also did a pop-up at New York Fashion Week. So they were like, we're going to make sure that people know about us. And I think they did a great job. I really think, and they did it in a very positive way. It was fun. And I agree with you, Chloe. I really love the idea of having life-size fashions of them. And again, will we see, 10 years from this doll line? I mean, I would love to hope to get that many fashion packs. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I've heard more positive than negative so far with this doll line. The only few things I've heard is people messaging like, oh, $30 is a little high of a price point and it doesn't come with a ton of accessories. I do agree with that. In hindsight, kind of looking, I'm like, okay, I can get it. But I hate to say it, the average doll now is like $25, $30 anyways. So I'm kind of on the fence on that. Like I get it, but also I'm like, well, we're getting really good fabrics, and I think that's where all the money is going to with these dolls.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The faces are a little bit matte for me. But I can see where the money was put into these dolls, and it was
Mm,
definitely the fashion. The packaging is really, really gorgeous. I don't
mm,
even know if I get broke, I'm gonna unbox her. That's how
yeah,
gorgeous I love the box. And yeah, I mean, I personally think there could be one or two edits,
yeah.
but overall, I think for a doll line that's just starting, they really checked off a lot of boxes for
Mhm.
collectors and just doll enthusiast people in general. I think a lot of the boxes were checked off on these dolls.
Yeah,
So
just the
I'm excited
stands
to see what they.
alone, I think are great. Like the concept of having the names, I have all my props here. Of having like the names on the stand with the hearts, like they didn't have to do that, but they thought like that would be something different. And it does. It stands out compared to the other stands, which are all just stamped out. So I think they did put a lot of thought into the line. I'm very impressed and I'm excited to see what else we get, whether it's more fashion packs, during the because I attended the virtual meeting and one thing that I forgot which collector said it, but they were like, oh, I would love to see a playset of a fashion runway, like an actual one that
Yeah,
you build with like little, that would be super cool. So if they're
I
listening,
can see that. I can see that. I can see that being a thing.
I'm excited about that. Going into other new doll news, of course, there is Barbie. I'm trying, I feel like when we talk about like Rainbow High Monster High, we're mixing it up a little bit. We got Barbie today, and Barbie is coming out with their more outfits in their style line, and there are 3 outfits. Now, I've heard again mixed feelings about it too when it comes to the price point versus how much stuff you're actually getting. But for me, it's one of those things, it's good quality. You're paying for the quality for the it looks like a actual real clothes but shrunk. I mean, do we kind of feel how do you guys feel about those new 3 fashion packs for the Barbie style?
Well, when I first saw them, I did see that they have. I think the quality is good. I think for maybe 25 is a bit too much. Like if you're getting all three, that's $75. But I
That
do
is
like
high now that
the
you said it like that.
yeah, it is 70 it's $75 for 3 fashion packs. But I guess this is more for the adult collector. Like I don't think like I'm gonna buy this for my kid, Like I think
Yeah.
that's it's more for the adult collectors. I do like the pink fashion pack with the puffer jacket and the pleather skirt. I think that one is really good. I kind of like all three of them. And I just got the mermaid, the new mermaid ones that she's right here. This one. I got this.
Oh, I
I'm
know I
like,
need
I
to
need
get
I
those.
need a body for her, and I'm like, maybe she would look really good in that pink outfit. So that could be a good option for if you want your Barbies to be high fashion.
And that's saying a lot because you're not primarily a Barbie collector. So if this is that's just showing that like, oh, it's getting or branching out to getting a newer audience to Barbie collecting, I
I
feel like.
think I got bit by the Barbie bug because I'm just getting Barbie now. Because I do want to get the other mermaid, she's like the more tan one. I really
Mhm.
want to get that one. And there's a fashionista, the newer ones. She has the black hair with the red streaks. I want to get that one as well.
I
I
don't
think
think
that
I've
one
seen
White
that
dress,
one.
is
headband. I'm trying to image it.
yes, she has like the white, it's like a white jersey looking dress,
hmm
and
hmm
she has the red streaks in her hair. I really, really like that doll. I did see her yesterday as well.
hmm
Okay, Johnny, entering his Barbie era.
Like now I have three.
Oh,
But I also agree. I think they're cute. I personally wouldn't get them. I think 25 is pretty out there. That's a whole ass doll for me. But I think they're cute. I think if you're like a really like
Mm-hmm.
Barbie
Barbie.
collector and you're here for this and this is what you've been wanting, there it is. If you have an extra $75 to just buy all three, perfect. You do you. They are cute though. I will give them that. I do really enjoy them. So my
Mm-hmm.
favorite is the black and white one. That one was my
Me
favorite.
too. That's giving like
That one's really good.
Chanel. It made me think of like Scream Queens, the Chanels for some reason. That's where my brain
Mhm.
goes. I do agree. I mean, $25 is a lot, but again, I'm looking at it from a it's made for collectors, it's not made for playline. The style lines, the higher end lines, like that's how much they kind of go for. Like if you remember I can't think of the Barbies now, what they were called. The Barbie in the middle, the outfits on the side, those were $100.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this is giving you the opportunity just to get the outfit and not getting the Barbie. I mean, I miss the golden era, of the 90s when the Fashion Avenue fashion packs were like at Toys R Us and KB, and it was giving that quality, and those were like $7. Of course, this was 30 years ago, inflation, but it's kind of giving me that little bit of a vibe, so it makes me kind of happy. I'm like, oh, it's like good quality fabrics. But I do agree that now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, $75 is a lot for just three outfits. But is that how much you would spend on Etsy if you were to buy three individual, like very well made Barbie outfits?
It'd be less.
Barbie.
Mhm.
I'm like, it'd be less.
I mean, I know how to sew, so I just kind of make my
Like,
own
See,
things if
I
I
don't know how to
want
make
it.
anything, so I order stuff, and I will be transparent. I have paid $20 for a doll hoodie, so 25 for a
I'm
Barbie complete outfit.
I mean, I'm not one to talk though because when I make things, I do price them at a higher price, mainly because I am sewing them myself and some of the
Yeah.
work is done by hand and it takes time and detail and etc. So I can see that. I don't know if these are like manufactured like with the machine, so like that changes things for me.
Probably.
You know,
I
it
would
it
think
comes
so.
into play for me if it was made by someone rather than like a machine. That's where I'm kind of like, that's
I
where
agree with that.
you
That's
know.
why when people are like, "Oh, you're buying stuff and it's pricey on Etsy," I'm like, "Well, yeah, because someone took the time to create that." So
yeah.
I can see from both sides. Like, if you're willing to pay $20 for a hoodie on Etsy, what's $25 for something like this? But then I always stop and think, I'm like, I'd rather give it to a small business than a corporation if I can pick, right? So,
Mm.
interesting. But I'm interested to see in the comments, like, are Barbie hardcore collectors going to be going crazy over these fabrics and like the outfits and stuff? I would like to see more elaborate outfits. Like, I'm not a sports person, so the tennis looking one, I'm kind of like about. Like
Mm.
it's impressive looking, but it's not really my aesthetic. So I would love to see like some like something more funky or
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if they were a little bit more like high fashion, giving us a little bit more of that couture vibe, then I can see getting on board for the 25 price point. I think that would work. But these all give me very much like simple everyday pieces that I think you can find pretty much anywhere. I think if they were to go a little bit more of that, like when they do like those exclusive, not even real dolls, they were like NFTs and they were like inspired by all these other brands and stuff like that. I think that would justify it a little bit more for me, but I don't know how much more they would charge if it was like, I don't think it has to be a collab with the brand, but I do think, I would be
I know
more
what you
like,
mean.
oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah, it's like
brand.
then they
Yeah.
would have to pay for like licensing if they bring in like a collaborative thing, and then
Mhm.
the outfits are going to cost $50. So it's like, yeah, I can see it from both lights, but hmm. Well,
Yeah.
I think another thing for me is that I think with Mattel you kind of basically have to build your doll because with the mermaid one I'm gonna have to buy a made to move Barbie and then I'm gonna have to buy the clothes on top of that. So it's like a $12 doll, the $25 fashion pack, and then the made to move is what, another 25?
and now you'll have a
Yeah.
$100 doll. No, I'm kidding.
So now it's like it's $100 doll. So it's like
Yeah.
I
Honestly,
think
that's
that's
smart from their perspective, where they're like, we know so many people do that, right? They do them. I
yeah.
don't know why they just don't make more made to move dolls. Like, I'm sorry, everyone does that. Any collector, 99% of them seems to like, I'm guilty of it too, rebodying my dolls. It's like they just need to start producing more dolls on made to move bodies, but it's forcing you to buy two things. It's forcing you to buy more things. So it's like, why change something if it's making them more money? And so I get it. I don't like it. Get it.
They should at
I
least
get
just sell the bodies on the Mattel Creations website, Mattel website anywhere. Just the bodies.
Well, don't they do
that's
that
a
with
great
gold
idea.
rated dolls? Don't BJDs
I
do that
think
where
so.
you buy the
Yeah.
body and the head
Mhm.
separate?
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
They need to
Oh,
start, yeah. I think that would be a really cool thing to cater for collectors if you're able to buy
mm.
just like the bodies
Mhm.
and they're just, online type of exclusive thing, like kind of like a replacement type of vibe. But this is like a full thing and you don't have to get like the clothes, you don't have to get the head.
Oh, I would love that. Do you
Or
remember how they had Creative Brats like 10 years ago? What if they did
mm,
Creative Barbie in that sense? Not because I know they have a kind of a version of that like in the New York location of FA Schwartz where you pick like a
Yeah.
fashionista and some things.
Mhm.
What if you did like a made to move and then pick the head and pick some nicer outfits? It'd be expensive, but then you could really customize it more. I think that might, I don't know. I could see that doing well, but it would probably be very pricey though. We'll see.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about another Mattel product. And it seems like Mattel Creations is pumping out a lot of new stuff. There is, of course, the Cruella de Vil doll for Disney. So we've seen a little bit of that. I've seen a few people already unboxing it. There's a Ken, which we don't know much about, but there are images at least. And then, of course, the Morticia and Wednesday Addams Monster High Collector dolls, too. So Mattel Creations is just like, we're pumping out dolls nonstop because I feel like we just had Creature of the Black Lagoon last week. So, out of those things that are getting released, are any of those exciting either one of you?
You go, Johnny.
Okay. Um, for me, I'm not really excited for none of the things to me they gravitated towards me. Maybe the Ken if we see more pictures, but I don't know.
Mhm.
The Cruella is $100. So that's kind of I don't know. She's coming out on the 6th, so there's not really much time to even save money. Yes, she's
Is she
$100.
17 inches or something? Is she like the Disney collector size?
She's
Like, why is she so
$100.
expensive?
She has 9 points of articulation, fabric boots, gloves, rooted lashes, and a fur coat. Which I
Okay.
guess she does look pretty good, but
Okay.
for me, how I see it is I compare her to the Disney limited edition dolls, the Disney
Okay.
would come out with, and those were
Mm,
only some of them were 75. One of
Okay.
the Corellas was 120, which I think those personally, just for me, they have better quality, they have embroidery, high quality fabrics. So I just think for me, it's not worth it because I was in that world of the limited edition Disney dolls, which I loved so much. The Peter Pan one is still one of my favorites. So just for me, in my eyes, I don't think the Cruella is worth it for, especially for $100. And she's not
Yeah,
even,
I
it's not
didn't
even
know
like a
that.
made to move body. It's just
See,
8 point
now
articulation. So
that's making me think. I know a lot of people have a
mm.
lot of opinions when it comes to the prices of the Monster High collector dolls. I haven't looked that deep into it. Now I'm going to try to be more aware of it. Are people saying the same things about this Cruella doll, or are they not because it's a Disney item,
well,
different
I have
license?
seen comments that people are saying she's way too much. So
Okay.
I have
Okay.
seen people say that.
Mhm.
Because even I was shocked when it said
Interesting.
100. I'm like, really, $100? That's
Yeah.
wild.
I didn't know that was her price. Now that I
Me
do,
neither.
I'm like, okay,
I
no.
was like, I'm good without her. That's fine. Because I like Cruella. The
Yeah.
character's great. I mean, I love
Mm.
Glenn Close in the movie versions is so iconic. And I love those dolls that were Barbie ones. But this one, I'm just like, again, it's cool. She looks cartoonish. She looks kind of accurate to the cartoon. I get it. But $100, like, wow,
Mm.
wow, that's too much in my opinion for that. Like, I'm that's a pass.
Is she releasing for like a special thing or is she just releasing to be released?
I'm not sure if there's a.
Is there like an anniversary? Is there like something or is it
Didn't
just
they do
like
Maleficent last, what was it, 6 months ago, five
Oh,
months
they did do
ago?
Maleficent, yeah.
I
But
think it's
that
in the
one,
same
yeah.
series, maybe.
I think that one was also 100
oh
then.
That was 102.
I think so.
I'm out of the Disney loop. I think that's what it
interesting.
is.
Me neither. Me neither. I
I'm
don't
not in that
collect
loop.
Disney dolls like that, so
Yeah,
I mean
I used to, but I don't anymore.
good for the Disney collectors, I guess.
To
Because
me,
they
like,
are
Mm.
coming out with a Star Wars doll too for May the 4th, which I
I
forget
saw
her
that one.
name. I forget
I didn't see. Wait, wait,
she's
wait, what doll?
Princess. It's a princess. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but it's coming out for May the 4th, and it's a
Oh,
princess.
oh, I
She
did
has like in
see
a red outfit.
Princess
Yeah.
Amidala.
Yes. I keep
Okay.
saying I wanted to say Princess blah blah blah. I don't know. Princess Amidala, yes. Her.
Okay, I am excited more about that one just because they haven't really made a lot of variations of her, right? We've had Cruella dolls. I mean, Disney obviously pumps out a lot of their classic films, but I feel like with Princess Amidala, like there was obviously the initial dolls when the movie first came out that are not cute.
Yeah, there were those. I don't know.
Not cute at all.
Choices.
So that's why I'm
Choices.
that one I find more exciting because I'm like, okay, they're making her look better than her other releases. So that one's
Mhm.
actually more exciting to me. But yeah, I think the Cruella's a pass for me. I'm not a hardcore Cruella
Mm.
fan. Maybe if that was like my favorite villain, like if they come out with maybe a Mother Gothel one, because that's my favorite villain. So I then I'm like, okay, I have to buy all the Mother Gothel dolls. But yeah, I'm not with the Cruella, but I am excited about the Ken doll, even though we don't have pricing yet and a lot of images. I love his shoes. The Ken doll shoes look really
I'm
cool.
like, that's all we can really base it off of, the shoes. The shoes were good. I do like the shoes. They're pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with the Cruella. I think if you're like a big Disney person, good for you. I'm more excited about the Disney IOY Forever doll. They're gonna make another
Mhm.
Stitch one. So I'm
Mhm.
more excited about that, but that's because I'm more into Stitch. So I guess like it would depend on the characters you like.
Yeah.
Um, good for the Star Wars people as well. I'm not a huge Star Wars person, so I wouldn't know about that. And yeah, I agree with you guys on the can. He's giving denim on denim on denim, and I'm here for it. I love a good denim moment.
What's his
So
name? Is it like Ken? Like, what's the name of the line? I don't
I
remember.
have no idea.
I'm not sure either.
Does it have a name?
I thought it did. I thought in the image I saw a name.
Oh, yes, yes. I think it's Ken Couture with the K.
Oh yeah, it is. Yes, yes.
That's what it
Yes.
is. That. Thank
Yes.
you, Chloe. Yep. I
She had a
think it's
brain
cute.
blast.
I think it's cute. But Monster High, though, we again just are recovering from Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
The three of us did not get, and I'm glad I
Yeah.
waited because we have Wednesday and Morticia Adams coming out, and I think they're. I just love the little rose details, like the little scissor things. Like it's very. I definitely am more genuinely excited about this just because I'm a huge fan of Adam's Family. I remember watching the movies growing up, thinking they were the best things ever, and seeing this embodied in a Monster High version is very exciting to me. How are you two feeling about the Monster High, Adam Family collab?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think it's really cool. I don't think I'm gonna get them, but I just think it's really cool. It's so wild that it's already coming out so soon. That's coming out for release on the 10th of May.
That's wild.
So that's Cruella's at the 6th.
Mother's
So
Day.
a lot of
It's for Mother's Day. Just
Mattel
in time for Mother's
collectors, they
Day.
are eating. And I think those are $90, a $90 price point for both of them. I do love that Wednesday has Cousin It and Thing as the heel for the boot. So cute.
See, that to me for
Yeah.
$90, you're getting two dolls. It's cute. I love the storyline. I love the little accenting pieces that you can see
The
some other
box.
characters in
The
there.
box is so good.
The box is really good. I'm gonna be surprised if a lot of people are upset about the price point because I'm like, for $90, I'm like that. I feel like this makes more sense.
Yeah,
You know?
that one for sure makes sense for the $90 price point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think for 90 bucks, that's good. I mean, it's two dolls. It's from an iconic movie. Like, it's gotten so much, they've done so many things with the Addams family. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited. Morticia's giving. She's
Mhm.
serving mother, which is
Mhm.
perfect because the set comes out on Dia de las Madres for Mexico. And then that Sunday, it's Mother's Day. So it's like perfect.
Oh,
It's
that's so
literally the most
cute.
perfect thing ever. I
Love
will
that.
say
Love it.
though, quote me if I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments.
Drag
Um,
her.
isn't Morticia allergic to flowers, like the roses, and that's why they cut off the stems? Like they cut off the actual flower from the stems? I could have sworn I saw that somewhere.
I
So seeing the
don't remember
yeah,
that detail now, and I've seen those movies like
yeah.
100 times. Like I
Because
don't.
when I saw the heels, I was like, cute, but that makes no sense to me. She's
Well, in the
allergic to
movie, she's
roses.
well in the movie she's always she's cutting because it's morbid and like obviously the roses are color and you don't want the color. But
I think also because she's allergic to it. I
now
think
you're
that
making
that's
me
like the main
question things.
reason.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I might be delusional, but that was the only thing that kind of stood out for me. That I was
I
like,
love that.
makes no sense, but okay, cute.
I
But she's
never
serving.
noticed. I just thought she
She's
hated them
serving.
because they were color and like obviously they live in a world of like gothic beautifulness. So I was just like, oh, she doesn't like the tops of roses. And then I was like, and now that you're saying that, I'm like, maybe she does have an allergy. Okay,
Because
like,
wouldn't you think like she would dye white roses black if that was the case?
ooh, that'd be a fun project. Yeah.
I
Welcome to our
mean,
DIY session. Let's turn these white ones.
This is our STEM section.
I don't know. I mean, overall, I think they're really
That's
cute. I'm not
fine.
gonna get them. I'm not a huge like Adam's Family person. Like I like it, I enjoy it, but it's not like I'm not a huge fan. So, I mean, it's pretty soon.
I
They really said,
know.
and wait for this one to release, and they're gonna announce another one,
I know. I
and another one, and
know.
another one.
We're getting like collector stuff every month. There's a
Yeah,
They
point.
need to, again, reel it in a little before it becomes overwhelming and then people just stop buying them because they can't, you know what I mean? I think like one every like other month maybe is a little bit better, but like within a 2 week span, I'm like, wow, this is really pumping them out fast. And that is a comment I do see quite often is like, okay, slow down the releases, or oh, I'm still trying to save money from the last one. And especially for people who are hardcore Monster High fans who will buy any of the Monster High collector dolls, I agree. Like that's a lot for them. It's like
yeah,
$75, 100 and some dollars. It gets a little overwhelming. See, like when you look at like the Princess Amidala one, well, not every Star Wars fan is getting a new Star Wars doll every day. So you can save
Yeah.
$100,
Yeah.
Okay, the one doll.
yeah.
But yeah, for Monster High, I feel like we are getting left and right thrown at us.
Yeah, we're
But
definitely
I
getting so much.
yeah.
I also would appreciate the doll a little bit more if they had their own like moment rather than like, oh, creature in the back. Okay, no, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in like really fast. They don't have their own time moment. It's not, it's very much like pump, 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 pump. And I
Mhm.
don't know how people buying all of these dolls, like they must have really good jobs. Really good jobs, because it's a paycheck after another. Mattel is coming for your check.
I
They said, you have to pay rent? Mm-mm. You have to eat? Who needs lights?
I think a lot of people also are just like, because I've seen a lot of people selling dolls because I'm always letting stuff go that I'm kind of tired of looking at. So I think a lot of people are doing that too. Because I've seen a lot of people recently, which is kind of making me a little worried, selling like their OMGs and their Rainbow High dolls. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if we're maybe following the same people or not, but I've been seeing a little more of an
Yeah,
influx of
I've
people
been
that,
seeing that too.
and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, wait, are they selling those now to buy the collector dolls? And I'm like, which is good. I'm glad that they're not going into debt, that they're letting one thing go to get something new. That's smart. That's good. But also I'm like, oh, they're letting the Rainbow Highs go. And I'm like, no, so it's a little, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, well, a lot of Monster High talk, and I'm sure we'll have more Monster High talk next week. But for today, let's go into our out of the box moment, our segment out of every episode, where we talk about something that can be doll related or something just that's going on with us this week in our lives. So, who wants to go first? I think last time, did Johnny go first? I don't know. We'll have Johnny go again
Yeah.
first. Johnny,
How about you go first? Because you always
I
choose
never
one
go
of
first.
us.
Oh yeah, we could let. Well, I'm being courteous. I'm like, let you guys go
No,
How
first.
but
about
I can
Elvira
go.
goes first?
Well, my out of the box is gonna be it's still toy-esque related, but not toy focused, if that makes any sense. So this week, the Teletubbies Doll Kills collab just dropped,
Yes.
and I was
Yes.
flipping out. I haven't ordered anything yet. I'm trying to be good about my monies, but I really want to order something. So if you're not familiar, Teletubbies, very popular kids show, 90s. Now it's having a little revamp moment. I've seen a lot of Teletubby merch everywhere. I
Mm-hmm.
know recently they are coming out with new plush that talk. Poe is on my wish list. Poe is my favorite character. I really want to get Poe. Uh, but like I know the company now. I can't think of the company now that is producing them. Loyal Subjects. I think it's Loyal Subjects. I might be incorrect. Loyal Subjects are producing a whole new wave of them, figures, plush, talking plush. And like I said, Dolls Kill collabed and have some very interesting pieces. Like they have Tinky Winky's head as a purse. Like the handle is the little
Love.
triangle, which I want that one, but also I feel like if you put a lot of stuff in it, it'll just pull the head piece down. It might look a little weird. It might look a little but there's some dresses, jackets, coats, there's hoodies that when you put the hoodie on, you have their little antenna on there.
Mm-hmm.
Very cute, very, very colorful, very 90s going into the 2000s type of fashion pieces. I think it's exciting. It's fun. I don't know if Dolls Kill is still canceled. I know they had some trouble in the past few years, but they're winning me with the Teletubby collection. That is for sure. And we'll see if I end up getting anything. It's kind of expensive, but I'm like, it's so cute. I'm really in a Teletubbies
They're
zone
really
now.
cute. I do like. Have you seen
Yeah.
the green boots and has like the Dipsy face on them? Those are so
So
cute.
cool. They have some good ones. Good
I
ones.
had I had seen they had like a necklace and it had all of the charms for their head. I could so see
I
you getting that,
know.
Elvira. I could see you just
It was in my
I
shopping
will agree
cart.
though.
Yeah,
I will agree though. Doll Skill is expensive. Ugh, it's a little.
yeah.
When they did the Bratz collection, I would always gag over them because obviously Brad. But they were just so expensive. For me, it was really expensive. I think I was
Yeah.
only able to get like a couple of pieces, and I can't really afford it, Mama. I really can't. And they used
Mhm.
to have Afterpay or Klarna. They used to have one of those, and I loved it because like it would make me want to buy it more. But now they don't have that, so I'm just
Oh,
like,
really? Hmm.
yeah. I'm like,
I don't
but
know. I have to
I,
be very selective about the pieces because, like, I want to maybe get one or two things that are very unique that I feel like are definitely worth the price. Like the purse is so
mhm.
weird, right? Like the purse is such a weird piece. Like, where else am I gonna get that? So that's why I'm kind of like inclined to get a piece like that. But am just outside of just the Dolls Kill collab. I am just excited for all the Teletubby merch. Like I said, I've seen my friend just shared me that I guess in Japan they're doing like gachapons of like little Teletubby keychains. Like it's
Oh,
everywhere and
I love.
I'm living for it. I love all their little cute, colorful world. It kind of gives me Yo Gabba Gabba, but for Yo Gabba Gabba 15 years prior to Yo Gabba Gabba being released. You know what I mean? It's like an evolution of Yo Gabba. I don't know which one I like better. I think they're both really interesting and fun and colorful. But I don't know, something about Teletubbies, they're just so happy. You look at them, and how can you be sad looking at a Teletubby? I think that's why
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
know, and
like,
their TikTok is bonkers. Have you seen have you seen that their TikTok account is they were all like on Dancing with the Stars, they were doing their thing. They're everywhere.
See, that's smart though. It's kind of like what they do with the like with MJ does with the Bratz account, right? They're taking modern references, doing really over the top, funny, campy things, and running with it instead of trying to go somewhere safe. Because I mean, safe, I feel like you get forgotten and lost. But when you take risks, especially with social media stuff, like I'm laughing every Teletubby post. I'm like, oh my god, look at that Teletubby doing that silly thing. You know what I mean? And it makes you want to buy stuff. It works because I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. That's so funny. So I'm very much in my Teletubby moment
Teletubby
right now.
era.
I know.
I love that for you. I love that for
I
you.
love it. I thought it was so, as soon as I
Honestly.
saw the collection, I was like, and I'm so sad I was not in LA a week ago. They did a Teletubby rave and I would have gone.
Oh,
Can you
I love themed
Have
raves.
fun.
There was a Shrek rave here not too long ago. I'm like, I wish I would have gone to that.
I've heard about it. Yep. That would have been funny. Oh my God. I love that.
Comment below if you want us
Wow.
to do an episode dressed as Teletubbies.
We
I have the Dipsy costume. It's in my
Oh
closet.
my god.
So I was Dipsy for a Halloween like in 20, I don't know, but I was definitely in college.
That's hilarious. I love it. I know. I have so many of the this is I think they released it in Burger King, the keychains, and it was all the little plush characters. Those were some good quality toys, by the way. And I have like a bunch because every time I see them at like thrift stores, wherever, I'm like, I have to pick up all these little pose. I have so many little
They're
pose.
so cute. I was a Teletubby kid. I had like a bunch of movies. I had the toys.
I just think
Mhm.
it's so cute. Again, it's cute.
I wanted those cookies, Mama. That's
Oh,
what
the
I
toast, the
wanted.
Tubby toast,
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
pink custard looks so good.
That's what I want. Every time I would see it, I was like, I want to taste it. What is that? I could only imagine. Cinnamony, I don't know. Maybe.
We should make our own. We should do a video where like, all right, we're making Teletubby toast today and just make something super elaborate.
Oh my god.
I love that. So that was my moment. That was my little out of the box Teletubbies. So how about, all right, let's see. So who went last time? I'm trying to think of now who to go next. Chloe.
Ah! My out of the box moment, you guys, believe it or not, I haven't really been like nothing stood out this week for me. Except for I've been going through like a little midlife crisis,
Oh,
You mean
which I
midlife?
never
You mean like quarter life? Please do not age yourself.
yeah, but I was like really thinking hard because like I'm turning 27. No, I'm not. I'm turning 28 this
oh.
year.
I'm like, wait
I
a minute.
mean,
Ah,
you can say any age you want. That's you
no,
don't have to.
I'm turning 28 this year. Like I don't mind aging, right? Like that's always been one of my things. I've never
Mhm.
really minded, but these past few days I've been thinking about that and I'm just like, "Oh my God, I'm going to be 28." I am like 2 hops away from 30. I'm like, okay.
So like, what a way to describe that. I don't know. I just like I
You
just see
know?
like as like a
I'm just
cute little bunny, like
yes. And I was like talking to my boyfriend and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna be like 30 in a couple years. I'm like, I'm kind of going through this mental thing where I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna I don't know. Like I feel like I don't know. Like my life, what? What life? It feels very much like that. And I was talking to him and I was like, I think it's not that I'm giving up. I'm not. I think I'm just going to shift my focus to other things in the next probably like 2 years or so.
okay.
And so I was talking to him about that the other day and I was like, "Oh my God, I think it's slowly going to start coming to an end." I'm like, I'm slowly going to just start fading out. Just cuz I don't know. I feel like I've given a good go at a few things and nothing's really stood out. I'm still kind of in the same place. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, like where you imagine something or getting somewhere or doing something and it's just not planning out, it's not happening. And for me, I think I need to focus on other things in order to like grow as a person, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. So that's
Well,
just been in my mind
well,
lately.
life is, I mean, I feel like this is something like I hear, I'm a little older, just for a day or two. And, and that's one thing I always hear from a lot of different people. It's like, at this age, I need to have this. At this age, I need to do that. At this age, I need to be retired and have, the white picket fence and the thing and the that. There is no set timeline, I'm learning, for anybody. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had friends who've had timelines that I guess, would be stereotypical, a little bit more traditional in the sense, and they're completely unhappy, just like the people who don't have the set timelines. So I really feel like I wouldn't put it like, don't hold yourself to be like, oh, well, since I'm not in this place right now, that it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
It still
No, that's
might.
what I was telling him. That's
It
what I
still
was telling
might.
him. Because he's like, oh, so what's gonna happen? And I'm just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think I want to focus on like other things, right? Because I
Mm,
focused so much on the same thing for a couple of years now. And I don't see I'm kind of just there. Like I'm just
mhm.
there, you know what I mean?
Kind of
And
complacent.
so
Are you feeling complacent in your space?
yeah, I like for me and I tell him I'm like, I mean, I've tried doing different things. I was going through my YouTube videos the other day and I was like I really like started one way, I ended at the other and I'm just like it's just I don't see myself like how I used to see myself and I was like and I want to focus on other things. There's so much I want to do in my life that I haven't been able to do and I
Mhm.
feel like it's myself holding myself back from those things. So yeah, that's just been kind of like my thought process these couple of days. I'm kind of going through a little quarter life crisis, as you called it. But I was just like, I
Which
think
I
in a
think,
few years.
I mean, not just like, again, it's like the old lady in the like, cabinets, like, let me tell you things. No, because I went through the same thing in my 20s where I was just so very unsure of certain things. And, I was going in one path and then I got really hit twice losing everything. Like, I think I've mentioned briefly in some videos, but I've never really went. Well, I was like, I mean, I lost everything. When I say lost everything, like literally, there was a time where dolls were living in a storage unit and I did not have a home. Like the car was the house. And I was like, oh wait, but I'm not like everybody else. Like everybody else in their 20s, they're all in college, they're all doing this. And there was many times where I had that thought of, I'm never gonna do this. Let me just throw in the towel. I'll get some boring job in the middle of a cubicle and cry myself every morning. That happened. It did not end well there. And so it's like I don't, it makes me a little sad to hear you say that, but also I feel like this also might be a part of your process to maybe then get you into something else that will put you on a better path and into a path that you might even be even happier about, that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I
Mm,
wanted to be in this path and now I'm in this path and it's even better. I just
yeah.
always like to tell people, I'm like, don't like say like, "Ugh, I'm just gonna completely give up," because here I am, hundreds of years later, still chucking things out and trying and still doing things. And it's also like, and I'll be very transparent. There's been many times where I've been like, oh, I think the doll circle will be turned off. And and there's been some times I will be very honest, a few times where I'm like, ooh, I'm just I can't do this anymore. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's not making me any money. I'm putting so much energy. People are bullying. Is it worth it? But then I'm like, okay, well, let me write a paper and pros and cons. What's the better? What's the worst? Right. So whatever you end up doing or whatever you end up giving up to then transition into something else, I mean, I would say really sit back and go, write out a list, write out the pros and cons. As stupid as
Yeah.
that sounds, it really does make a difference when you really step back and go, okay, why did I love this? Why am I not still doing this? Why am I doing this? Why would I want to still doing this? And really take a lot of time to do a lot of inner reflection. And then sometimes you end up maybe doing it again. And that's how I've been with even just the doll circle stuff. I've been like, I'm not going to do this. And then I step back like, no, I really like it. I like hanging out with you guys. I like doing this. I like, the friends I have made. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And you just kind of keep
Yeah.
chugging through it or whatever other, whether it's YouTube or work or personal other things in your life. So make sure to write it out really think about it before you just throw in the towel sometimes. Cause maybe you'll surprise
Yeah.
yourself and be like, you
Amen.
know what? I am going to keep going
Amen.
on.
Well, that's what I was talking. Well, I obviously talked to myself about these things before going into them, but I was just like, I feel like I put so much time and energy into certain things that just don't go the way I think that they're gonna go. If that
Mm,
makes sense. Like I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I put so much time and energy and thought, and like I think about it like yearly, right? Before I do it on my birthday looks. I think about them so much, like I think more than I actually should. And I was telling him, I was like, I have the one planned out for this year. I planned out the one for next year. I planned out the one for when I turn 30. And I was like, I think after that, I'm not going to be doing them anymore because they're so time consuming. And then I love it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that I love to do, but I just don't have the time, the money, the energy. I don't see the
okay.
outcome. And so I think I even feel more defeated afterwards. And
Yeah.
it really, really sucks to feel defeated after like something you put so much, of your time and effort into. So I was like, I don't think I'm doing that anymore. I try to do like my Halloween looks every year and I try to make it a whole spectacle. And they're just not what I think. What I think happens doesn't happen. So I told him I'm not doing that anymore. I don't want to put myself through that process of like getting so excited for something and then it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just for me and there's nothing wrong with that, but
Mhm.
I just think I'm getting to a place where I want to evolve in my transition as well and I'm not evolving. I'm relying on other things and I'm just like they're not where I want to be in life. And so I was like, in order to give like 100% into my transition, I do have to cut back on a lot of other things that do make me happy, but they're not making me get closer to being that person I see myself being. If that makes sense. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
No, I completely
Yeah.
get what you're saying. Where, like again, using your birthday looks as an example, where for a long time that did bring you a lot of joy, but it's not bringing you the same joy it was originally bringing you. And in some lights, I'm hearing that it's holding you back from something that will make you even more happier, like will make you
Yeah.
feel even more complete. So, I mean, that right there, I feel like is step one, right? You're like, you know what? I'm gonna reel it in a little bit with doing that to then get to a better goal that will then maybe push you into something even maybe better, even something that
Yeah.
you can grow and share and be open about and feel a little bit more very different than my Teletubbies moment. Very different.
I
Very
know.
I
I'm
was like,
different.
sorry.
I'm gonna
I'm
be the
so
talk
sorry to bring
show
up the movie,
serious
guys.
moment today. We are gonna be real. But no, I'm glad you're bringing that up though, because I feel like again on social media now, I'm hearing that a lot from people in their 20s, 30s, etc. That it's an overwhelming time, and you really sometimes have to put certain things in boxes and go, you know what, pros, cons, I can't do this, that, and make some really tough decisions. And talking about
Yeah.
it, maybe you're giving people some ideas and stuff. So I'm hoping anybody who's listening or they might have suggestions for you to help you get stuff too. That's always good. It's community.
Yeah. I not I don't want to get too into it, but it's not that I feel like a failure, but I sometimes to bring that up, with myself. I feel like I'm gonna leave this world and there's nothing like nothing. There's only what I like what's on my social media, which isn't much, but it's there. And so like I think about things like that and I'm like, You know, I'm not. It's.
Well,
I
don't sell
know I'm
yourself
not.
short though,
Yeah, I don't
because
want to. That's why I'm like,
everybody is their own biggest saboteur, right? I
yeah,
mean, everyone is. It's like, oh, I could be this or I could be that. It's, and you're in that little creature in the back saying, you're terrible. And you're like, you need to just go away. I'm doing fine.
yeah.
I mean, you gotta
No, that's why I
really focus
said
on that.
it's not that I don't want to call it being a failure. I just don't see. I don't see it, and I'm like I want to be able to see it. I want to be able to say, well, I worked this hard to get to this point, and I can see that point. I'm like I haven't really worked hard. I wouldn't say I worked super hard. I've put work into things, but it's not like I just don't see it for myself anymore. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like at
Mhm.
one point in my life, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do social media and it's gonna be like this big thing and I'm gonna have so much fun. And yeah, I had so much fun, but it's not a big thing. I'm not what people are looking for in social media, and that's fine. I think I've just I've come into terms with it. Like I think for a long time I was like, oh, I can still make it. I can still make it. I can still do it. I can still pump this out. I can still, and now I'm just kind of like, I've tried, I've done, I've put so much energy, I feel, and it's just not what I thought it was gonna be. So how about I shift that energy into something I think that will be
Mhm.
just for me rather than for everyone, if that makes sense.
No, and you
But
should
yeah.
never go into anything, regardless of what it is, unless you're doing it, for yourself. And I know that sounds kind of selfish, like do something for yourself, but it's true though. You should be your biggest cheerleader. You should do things for yourself, And yes, you'll have people around you that care about you, but at the end of the day, you should do something that makes you really fulfilled,
Mhm.
not just happy, but fulfilled as a human being. So,
Yeah.
like I said, it won't, take time. Don't just I'm done and then quit everything tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like really like think
No,
about
no,
it and
no.
process it and like no
No,
no
that's why I
rash
said,
decisions, it's you have to really, like I said, plan it out and really
yeah.
map out what you want to do. And it's obviously easier said than done, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I talked to my dad who's turning 80 this year, and he's still sometimes like, to go back, I would have no idea what I would do. Like, you know what I mean? So there is no timeline for anybody. So don't feel like you're pressured into being a certain something, because we're not.
Yeah.
Everybody's totally different. So
That's why I said I'm like, it's probably gonna be in the next couple of years. I'm telling myself in the next couple of years to prepare myself for change because nobody likes it when it's just like that. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But yeah, that's where my mind's been for this week. Just kind of like thinking about life.
That's good though.
Johnny, hopefully you're out of the box moment is a little bit happier.
I had a happy one this week. No, it's one of those things like, yeah, but it's real though. It's real. And this is something that, again, and collecting obviously plays a big, huge part of your life. So that's going to be another factor into you making these decisions for your life. So it relates back to what we're here for dolls.
Well,
It
yeah.
all, it all
Well,
goes back to
that was one question my boyfriend had for me. He was like, "Are you still gonna collect dolls? Is that like a thing you're still gonna be doing? Like if you start this new venture or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah, dolls have always been a part of my life, and they will continue to be a part of my life. And if I get a job and I'm doing good, then it's gonna be even better for my dolls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can see it.
yeah.
Yep, yep.
What about you, Johnny? Moving on. What
I'm
about
like,
you,
so
Johnny?
I'm going through a crisis as well.
Ah,
Oh, I see. I could have brought up my crisis, but instead I brought up Teletubbies. Now I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody all of a sudden was like, "This podcast got dark." Like, I'm kidding.
dark. They're talking about life and midlife crises,
But
mama.
I do like that we do have conversations like this though, because it is
Yeah,
pretty real, especially
yeah,
since we're living in a world that is so focused on social media. So it's very easy to consume you.
it
But
does.
Yeah.
people just for like even for you, Chloe, just to be able to be like, you know what, I'm not comfortable where I'm at right now. I think that's a big step to just even
Very. And it's honest. It's
admit,
being honest, being open. And I feel like people see social media, regardless of its dolls or whatever, and they're just like, oh, everyone is, oh, look at those people just being happy. Oh, look at them with all their dolls. I mean, well, okay, that's only what we decide to show
yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
And I think that's something a lot of people, when we're raw like this, it's like, okay, dolls are just a part of them. They're not just these like all the time. Like nobody's like that. Well, now let's go to Johnny's out of the box moment after we've had such a variety of like out of the box moments today. Johnny, what do you got for us?
Okay, so let's bring it back to some camp. But so this happened yesterday. If you the Chucky season 3 finale was yesterday, and it was absolutely wild. I have no idea what I even watched. That was a whole hour of like, what is going on? I feel like that finale. I don't know if I want to spoil it on here, but that finale, probably my least favorite finale out of the first two. It was so wild. I did like the ending though. Beautiful ending. Love the ending. So happy. Love it. Maybe I will spoil it. So skip if you don't want to be spoiled.
I'll put a little warning. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. Yeah, tell me, because I'm way behind. I've only seen like an episode or two of the whole series at all. So I really have no idea what is going on. But from what I've heard though, from what everybody else is saying, that it is wild. So I'm like, oh, this is
Oh my
something I
God.
need to watch.
I'm like, how did they get that on TV? It's so
Right?
weird.
Oh
It's
my
so
God.
Ooh,
wild.
okay. Now
So
I need to watch it.
Girl.
it's like Chucky's a ghost now. And then like so
Okay.
he's haunting things. I know he's always been very a spirit, very voodoo, very into that.
Mm,
And then one of the main characters, they kill him for like a little bit so he could go
okay.
into the spirit realm and kill Chucky in the spirit realm. And Chucky ends up possessing him. It's a whole thing. And then
Okay. Okay.
Chucky ends up going back into a doll because he found the original creator of the good guy dolls, and he had another doll. And then the three main characters of the show, they become dolls themselves because they trap them in there. Tiffany
Love
escapes
that.
prison. Insane. She goes back into a doll. They live happily ever after. They're both dolls. They're making out in the back of a car while a 12-year-old is driving. So
You
it
know,
is
that
a
makes
lot.
sense.
It is a lot. I am here for the campiness. I did like Seed of Chucky. I know some people don't like Seed of Chucky because it's
I
like
thought it
way
was so
out there, very campy.
cute.
That's like honestly one of my favorite movies because I think that's the first movie I watched like full on through. So it has a really soft spot in my heart. So I am excited to see where the season is gonna go next, but it's just I still don't even know how to even describe that finale. If anyone else is watching it, let me know because I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe that's what I'll fall asleep to tonight because I always try to watch something while like at the end of the
Maybe
night. I'm like,
not.
I literally cannot be working
Maybe
all the time,
don't.
right? So that maybe that'll be my new journey. It's like Fallout obsessed me 2 weeks ago, so maybe now the Chucky series will obsess me. That's a good recommendation.
It's just I just seeing everything in the spirit world was so cool though. Seeing there's different Charles E. Ray. So like there was him when he was a kid, there was him when he was a teenager, there was him when he's
Oh,
an
that's
adult, and
cool.
now of course when he's older, and they were all interacting with each other. And then of course Fiona Dourif, that's Brad Dourif, he's the voice of Chucky. Yeah, they acted together for the first time, which I thought was so cool. So like as a father and
Hmm.
daughter, they're acting together and like they're both doing the Chucky voice. So
Yeah.
good.
Oh, see,
Absolutely
that's
so good.
cool. I
And
love that.
they put prosthetics on her so she could look like him when he was younger. Looks uncanny. Looks so good.
Yes.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
geez, you're really selling. Now you're really selling it too. Because I've obviously had interest
Yeah.
in it. Because I know all three of us are really big like horror movie fans. We all like Chucky, but I just haven't sat down and watched the whole thing. But now I'm like, I need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, because it really does keep you on your toes. Watching the finale, I kept looking at the time and I'm like, how is this gonna end? How is this gonna end? And then there would be like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, where's this gonna go now? It was such a journey. I've never felt that way before watching a series. Which by the way, I started watching Fallout. I've seen 2 episodes.
Oh,
It's
I
good.
yes.
It's good.
haven't. I haven't. I'm still waiting on that one.
I
But
was iffy. I was iffy on the ghoul on episode 2 of what he did to the dog. I'm like, oh my God, don't, never mind. But then like he redeemed himself. So I'm like, I'm back on
Yes,
board with the
yes.
ghoul.
We don't want to spoil it, but he was being nice back to the dog. So I was like, okay, that's fine.
It's good. It's been good so far. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to watch the rest of the series.
I'm very excited.
Mhm.
I'm still so obsessed that I recently, you know, me and my bead journey. For those of you who do not follow me on Whatnot, I had an auction recently, but I started branching off into like my new journey of beads. That's been my other like obsession now, and they did really well. Thank you to anybody who's listening that bought charms off of me. But I'm making some Fallout ones, and I bought these really cool like
Ooh.
muted blue and yellow like beads to put on.
Hmm.
So expect Fallout charms. I need to do a Chucky charm actually. Now that you said that,
Oh yeah,
I
that
got
would be
some
cute.
good stuff.
Some
Mhm.
horror like icon
I'm making
ones.
Scream ones, and I found droplets of like they look like a little blood droplet, but they're made from glass, little beads. And I've got a little like Scream toy, so he's gonna be a little Scream with like drops of glass blood under.
Oh, so cute.
That sounds so
Hmm.
So
good.
cute. Available in
Good.
Elvira's Next Whatnot.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for pitching that in. Yes. That will support us to keep
Oh,
doing more things. Yeah.
I
But
was gonna ask you, Johnny, did you call the number? Because you know how at the end of the episode they're like, call this
He
number?
just cusses you out.
Oh, okay. Very on
So
brand.
wait,
Love that.
Oh, there's like a.
at the end of the episode, it cuts off to like Chucky at the president's office. He's at the table, and he's like pitching his fourth term, like season 4.
Oh,
And
I
so a
love
Yeah.
number flashed up on the screen, and like you could like call it and text it. And he basically called or texted. He just cusses you out.
Oh, I love that.
I was gonna call, but I was scared. I
Are
don't know
you?
what's gonna happen.
I'm like, I don't want Chucky to have my number.
That's funny.
Although he can help me getting one of these dolls, so
I was gonna say that would be really cute if all of us like got transported into dolls and that's how we filmed everything. It was
Oh
just
my god, that's like if you could be spiritually possessed into a doll, which one would you choose? Let us know down below.
oh, that's a good topic.
That's
for
a good
yes.
this.
Yeah. Oh my god, we should
I
talk
want to
about
be
that
what's
in
the most
next week's
snatched
video.
looking doll? An integrity doll.
Yeah, don't choose an OMG because their legs don't move. You're gonna have no ankle articulation. You're gonna be walking like this.
You're gonna have rubber. No, don't choose a brat. Because they pop your legs off, mama. You're Nika. You're right there. No limbs.
We have to be made to move Barbies.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Or Rainbow High. I can see myself being my mini me.
Mhm.
She has a freshly new walk-in closet that you cannot see, but I am pointing at it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What doll would you be if you could possess any of them? Yeah, I would want
Wow.
obviously probably made to move makes the most sense because then you have the most articulation. But I would rather be a rainbow high doll or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Looks
Comment
like your
down
head would
below.
be so big you would fall over though.
No, because you have your stand. So you're just gonna be your stand. I just imagine us holding our heads.
It's like, hey, hold on for me. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Then you make a mistake and accidentally put yourself in a flat-footed Barbie.
Oh, I know. You're right. That would be a travesty.
Or on a 5-point articulation Rainbow High or OMG or Monster High.
No, that would not be good. I'd be like, I can't move. Like, oh my gosh, that'd be awful.
Wow, where has
What
this
is this?
gone? Yeah.
What
Where
is
are we
this?
at? Where did we go? Where did we travel? What plane are we
Love
on?
that for
Like,
us. I love that for us though.
but we hit up a lot of topics. Definitely in the comments below. Comment about any of the 20 million things we talked about today. Any recommendations that you may have, let us know. But yes, we do have, like, of course, all of the episodes here on YouTube, but if you want to listen to us, we are available wherever you can listen to podcasts from, like I said, Amazon, Spotify, etc. And then fingers crossed, next we got a new exciting episode. I'm not going to maybe jinx it, but we have some fun things planned. Hopefully, we're all very, very super excited. So until next time, thank you so much for everybody to watch or listen to us. Bye, everybody.